everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Monday to you all. I hope that you had a great weekend. And if you were celebrating the Thanksgiving in the United States, I hope that you had a great holiday time. Or maybe if you celebrate it like in other countries, I don't know, okay? I don't really know if other countries celebrate American Thanksgiving. But if you did, I hope that you had a great time with your friends, your family, your loved ones, whomever you spent it with. Just so you know, this week we are starting a brand new topic, and this week we are talking about mentally healthy during the holidays. And specifically today, Monday, we are going to be talking about find something you enjoy about the season. Before we jump into that, again, happy Monday. I just wanted to let you know that the reason that I decided to do mentally healthy during the holidays is because we are about to, actually, I feel like we are, after Thanksgiving happened, we are now into the Christmas time, the Christmas season. And as opposed to waiting till we were deeper into December to talk about, mental health things that are related to the holiday season, why not start it now? Start it at the top of the month so that it can help you prepare, or if you're already feeling overwhelmed because Thanksgiving just happened and basically so many people that I see have already been celebrating Christmas since the top of November, even if some people before Halloween. So anyway, I know that it might seem maybe early, or it might seem a little different than what am I trying to say? A little different than the kind of information, I guess you could say, that I share here on the podcast. However, I don't see it as being something that's out of left field, because I always talk about how on this podcast I want to share with you things that we all go through in our real lives and how to deal with those struggles, how to still become our best selves despite those things, and how to overcome whatever is trying to hold us back. And I know that a lot of people, including myself, will struggle mentally during the holiday time. So I decided that I would like to just talk about this week. And then, we might talk about some more stuff as the month goes on, because it is one of those times of year where people feel even more lonely than normal, and struggle with their mental health more than normal. So I think it's very important to talk about it. So that is the reason, and I just want you to know, in case you were like, why does this not seem like it fits? I personally think it fits. But you're welcome to come, check the description box for where to find me on Instagram or my email address. Start a dialogue with me. Tell me why you feel the same, feel different, whatever. I would love to hear it. But I hope that you guys are having a great day this Monday, whether your day is just beginning, in the middle, or towards the end. I hope that it's been fantastic. But if you are having a hard day or you're going through frustration, struggles, I always encourage everyone to take the 5-minute reset, which is take at least 5 minutes to be by yourself and allow yourself to reset, reboot, restart your day right then and there. It gives you the opportunity to draw a line in the sand and really just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to restart my day right now, and whatever has already happened, I'm going to let that go and know that everything going forward will be better. I'll have a better attitude about it, and I will just feel like it will thrive more than the crap that's already happened. You know what I mean? It's also an opportunity to take a break from any issues, problems, or burdens that you're currently dealing with, and to come up with any resolutions for any problems that you are dealing with if a resolution is needed, especially if it involves someone else. Always, 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 I encourage you to create a list of at least 4 things that you're grateful for, big, small, medium size, and it can be as small as being grateful that you got to just FaceTime with people during Thanksgiving if you weren't able to spend it with the people that you wanted to. Maybe you're grateful that you did get invited to someone's Thanksgiving. There's so much food and fun and family, and it was good. Or maybe you're just grateful that you kind of got a break from the big family holiday. I know sometimes that can be very overwhelming for a lot of people. So, and I encourage you to come up with 4 things that you're grateful for every single day, despite doing the 5-minute reset or not, because it's important to practice gratitude every single day, and it'll help your positivity in general and help you just have a more positive and open mindset for your life on the daily. But last but not least, before you end your 5-minute reset, I encourage you to feel at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day, because you made that gratitude list, or you're already owning the fact that there are amazing positive things happening in your life, and it's much easier to get through those negative, tough, hard things that you may be struggling with right now if you focus in more on the positive. Not all the time, not 100%, maybe not even 90 or 80, but it will help you to not focus so hard on the hard things that are happening. So I just think that you should have at least a neutral mindset, so it'll just help you to kind of glide on through all of that crap that you're going through. I understand. But I do hope that you're having a fantastic day this Monday. Like I said at the top of the show, we are talking about mentally healthy during the holidays, and today, Monday, we are discussing find something you enjoy about the season. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. The holiday season can be so tough on so many people, especially if you've had poor experiences in the past or are alone during this time of the year, which I feel like can definitely be an issue that a lot more people might be going through because of the worldwide pandemic. You might not have the opportunity to go home for those holidays or to go wherever you would normally go because of whatever criteria or limitations that there are because of the pandemic, or just other things, other struggles. Maybe it's a financial struggle and you just can't afford to go to those places this year because you have to cut back on expenses because it's been hard, like with your job and whatever else. I don't know what the problem could be, but I just feel like there are going to be so many other people that are struggling more so than normal because of the limitations with what you are allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, and people's health, and trying to be considerate of where you go. But I also think it's an opportunity for if you have the opportunity to welcome new people into your home for these holidays and these events. That's a really loving, kind thing for you to do, and it'll really help people feel like they are cared about, that they're not alone, and that they don't have to, just feel that loneliness even deeper than they might already have been if they've already been missing out on time with their family and friends that they normally see that they cannot right now. So, and I know that history can play a huge role in how we react to certain people and situations, but it's important to realize that not every situation is going to turn out the same, because like I said at the beginning, it can be really tough to handle the holiday season if you've had poor experiences. And a lot of times, and this was me for the longest time, I would base everything on what has happened before, and that would definitely be my outlook for how I saw what was coming, and it sometimes put a damper on things, because when things are just going so well and you're sitting around feeling super anxious waiting for the other shoe to drop, you're not really truly letting yourself go to actually enjoy what is happening. But again, yes, it's important to realize that not every situation is going to turn out the same. Bad things aren't going to constantly happen. And if we give new opportunities a chance to play out, we might be able to log a positive experience in our history, right? You got to give it a chance. You got to be open and willing to be like, okay, let's just give this one an opportunity. And yes, it's highly possible that you could be let down, or that it could go as badly as you anticipated, or worse. But there's also the possibility that it won't, that it'll go better than you anticipated. It'll be like the best experience, and it'll just change your whole outlook on the thing. And you just don't know where it's going to land. And you got to open it up and let it just do its thing. And what, you're like, well, open what up? Just open up your mind to the possibility that this time could be different, because it's not going to be the same every time. I will say that it could be the same thing every time. If you think it's going to be the same thing every time, that you manifest it and sabotage it in some way that you don't even know you're doing, and it ends up being the same as it is every single time, which could have been the reason why it's been bad for the last few years, because maybe it happened the first one or two or three, and then you just assume that that's how it was going to be, and you've manifested that happening. You like sabotaged it in some sort of way that you didn't even know you were doing, and it continued to turn out negative. So that's just something to consider if you do have that outlook on the holidays this time of the year. I know some people just hate this time of the year. I get it. I understand. But yeah, bad things aren't going to constantly happen. We need to give new opportunities a chance. But if you do really have a track record of having bad things happen during the holiday time, or just not being happy as much as you'd like, I want to encourage you to be diligent about finding something you enjoy about the season. And that is what we were talking about today. You know, it's no one else is going to have the responsibility, whether you want them to or not, to help you find something that you enjoy about the season. And no one else is going to hold your hand and try to convince you that you should find something. However, I am here encouraging you, hopefully motivating you to do that for yourself, so that you yourself could find the joy in the season, even if it's just a little part of it. Not like, you don't have to be Christmas crazy. Like, I am Christmas crazy, okay? So I get so excited. Usually it's around like October, maybe sometimes even September. I get really excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, Christmas time and stuff is here. And my husband's like, what are you talking about? There's so many other holidays we need to get through. And I'm like, you don't understand. I can feel it. I can feel the fever. And I get so excited and I look forward to it. And I try my hardest to make the most of it. Especially since I'm not really, quote unquote, allowed to celebrate Christmas until Black Friday hits. And then I get it all the way through December. And then usually when the new year comes, that's when everything has to come down, which is fine. But yeah, I am Christmas crazy, but I'm not saying that you have to be that. Even if you just find one thing that you find true joy in during the season, that will definitely help your mood, your energy, your positivity, and help you get through this time that you have found to be so difficult. So this is specifically what I want to talk about today, because I believe we can get really all up in our heads about this time of year and immediately label it as terrible. I know so many people in my life that are like this. Unfortunately, I try my hardest every single year to encourage them and let them know you have to do the work. You have to do your part to make the best of it and do what you can to find your own happiness in what's going on. You just have to. You have to do it yourself. You cannot rely on other people to do it for you, and you can't just sit in your grinchiness and feel like that's okay, especially if you are trying to bring other people down on purpose. So, if you continue to harbor negative feelings towards this time of year, how do you expect it to get any better or any more enjoyable? Like, how? How? There is no way. There's no way. If you continue to harbor negative feelings towards it and they say it's like the most terrible, it'll never get better, because you're not actually trying to make it better for you. You're just not, right? I hope that opens someone's mind, because, it's so tough for me to see people that are so hurt and so sad during one of the most joyful times of the year, at least for me and so many other people I know. And that's not what you want for anyone, right? So, but you can only help someone that is ready to help themselves. And if you aren't, then there's nothing that anyone else can do until you're ready to help yourself. But here are some suggestions. I have 4 suggestions for you on how you can find ways to better enjoy this time of year. So the first suggestion is to take a break from what you normally do and try something new. So let's say that you have a very solid routine in everything you do. Maybe you wake up, work out, go to work, and then maybe you like to do some sort of personal hobby, watch a show, eat dinner, spend time with your family if that's like your life, and then go to bed. But let's say that you mix it up a little bit. Maybe you find like a different workout routine that you can do that is specific to this time of year. So maybe you can go out and you can go running or go walking, and you can enjoy like the Christmas lights in your neighborhood. That can be something that is still very close to your normal routine, like if you already work out outside or you like taking walks, but you try to find a route that has a lot of Christmas lights. And that is the thing during this time of the year, this season, that can bring you joy, right? And so And that could expand to like you going to different places in the city where you live and seeing all the beautiful lights and taking the time to drive by and just admire it. And then maybe you hear about, because I'm sure like during COVID, there'll still be people that put lights up, and maybe there'll still be those neighborhoods. Do you have those neighborhoods in your town? There's some here where everyone in that neighborhood decorates and puts lights out, and it's like a thing that people will drive through on purpose, and they know that's going to happen because it's on display. And so maybe that could be one of your things, right? So or maybe instead of doing your normal after work hobby, maybe you like to read a book, maybe you like to, I don't know, watch a show, play a video game, like do something else. Maybe you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm going to try to make Christmas cookies. I don't know. Or maybe you are going to, instead of watching your show, you're going to watch like a Christmas show or a Christmas movie or something like that. Or I don't know, like something else. You just have to like shake it up and maybe find an activity that you wouldn't normally do. And if you are afraid to do it by yourself, find someone else that is very Christmassy and will do it with you. But find something that happens during this time of the year. Or maybe if it snows where you are, but you've just never taken the opportunity to engage in any sort of like snow sports, like skiing or sledding or snowboarding or, I don't know, snowshoeing. Yes, I used to do snowshoeing actually growing up. I grew up in Alaska, that is why. But yeah, or ice skating. And I feel like all of those are outdoor activities that you actually can do during the pandemic safely. So maybe you can, especially if you're athletic and you've never taken the time to do those things, or even inner tubing. Inner tubing is so much fun. But you can do that. Maybe you can just like mix it up and just find like fun holiday things to do that you wouldn't normally do. Find things you can enjoy about the season that you don't normally, or maybe there's some sort of special seasonal dessert at your local ice cream parlor or dessert place or coffee shop. Maybe you really want to start indulging in all the Christmas drinks like the mint mochas and the eggnog lattes and all of that stuff, right? So just find something that you normally do and then switch it up with something that's more holiday or something totally different that's more holiday. The second suggestion I have for you is to surround yourself with people that are enjoying the season and can be a positive influence. So let's say none of that, like first suggestion, you're like, no, I like my routine. I like it to keep it the way that it is. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. I get it. I'm sometimes like that too. I'm like, okay, I guys got to do this. I like to be very on schedule. No problem. No problem at all. You could also just spend some more time with people that actually enjoy the season. So let's say maybe your spouse, your kids, your friends, your work friends, like whomever, maybe like that they're full on Christmas crazy. And I mean that in the nicest way because I call myself that. But just spend some time with them and figure out and ask them like, hey, what do you like about this season? Even if it doesn't sound super exciting. Maybe they're like, oh my gosh, I love to bake like sugar cookies, or I like to build gingerbread houses, or I like to, go and try different Christmas drinks at different coffee shops, or I like to go and help wrap presents. That's something that we used to do here at my church, but I don't think we're allowed to do that this year, but maybe some other places you are allowed to do that because of the pandemic. That's why we're not allowed to do it, but maybe you can go and like wrap presents for like toy drives and stuff like that. And just find something that you can, do with them that they like to do that you might be interested in. Another idea I have within this is that maybe you find some people that are very into the holiday, and let's say that they really like to do gingerbread houses. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, I don't think I'd really be interested in that, but maybe you can do it the way that they normally do it, where they just build a house, maybe watch a movie, talk, chit chat, or maybe you're like, okay, let's take their idea and kind of mix it up a little bit and see if they're open to the idea of like, let's have a race on who can build the gingerbread house the fastest. And maybe you won't necessarily use one of those like expensive kits to do that. Maybe you'll just each get like a can of frosting and some graham crackers and then a couple of like handfuls of candy. And then whoever builds the house that is still standing at the end the quickest, like wins like someone buying them a coffee or something like that, right? Like make it fun, or let's see, maybe you can go ice skating. You guys can like race on the ice and see who can like safely safe as you can, and like, make it fun. Like if you like competition, if you like, going up against people, maybe that's something that you really enjoy. You can fit that into the holiday season, right? Maybe you can have a cookie decorating contest, like that'll be fun. Or maybe you can if you're not really into Christmas, you might not be able to do like Christmas movie trivia or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying. So find a way to jazz up those ideas that may not be your total interest that other people are influencing you to do. Mix it up a little bit, make it a little bit more of your style, and then jump right in, right? My third suggestion for you is don't try to overdo it with too many obligations. Set limits for yourself. So let's say that you enjoy Christmas, right? It's fine. You're not like the high level of Christmas crazy, but you're not a Grinch. You're in the middle. You're like, it's fine. It's good. I enjoy the tree. I enjoy Christmas lattes and eggnog and seeing friends and opening presents. But let's say that it's the thing about how there are so many events that you have to go to. And honestly, I think the pandemic has solved that for you this year, because I doubt that there'll be that many events despite like what your limitations are in your state and city and county. But if everything, it just seems normal where you live, then I would just set some limitations for yourself. You are not obligated to attend every single thing. If you feel like you are, that is you putting expectations on yourself that you don't have to. And if someone else is thrusting expectations on you, you need to have a conversation with them and let them know, hey, I just can't do it all. I can't overextend myself. It's not for me. I don't need to do it. And then you don't have to do it. Like, you don't have to do it. You get to make the choices for yourself. You are in charge of yourself, no one else is. You get to make those decisions. It might be hard in the beginning, but the more you do it, the easier it'll become, and people will respect you as time goes on. I promise. But yeah, so I would say just limit yourself. Just be like, okay, I know I want to go to this event. I know I want to go to that event, and I definitely want to attend this one. But this one is like one that I don't want to so much, and this one is definitely one I never enjoy. But then let's say that there is an event where you're like, oh, I don't want to go, but I know that I need to go so that I can show them that I care, but I'm only going to go for a half an hour. And then you come up with an excuse ahead of time while you have to leave. Or you can even rope someone else in. I don't think this is bad, because I have anxiety, and a lot of times I already need to come up with an excuse for me to leave at a certain time if I'm not enjoying myself, because I just don't want to feel in an anxious mood, overwhelmed. It brings everyone else's mood down. It makes everyone feel anxious as well and upset sometimes. And so I don't want to be a part of that either. So a lot of times I will already come up with an excuse for why I need to leave early. And you can do that as well and just be like, okay, hey, or have someone call you. That's what I meant about roping someone else in. Be like, okay, ask your friend to call you at a certain time, or text them, be like, hey, can you call me real quick, and call them, and then just say, hey, I gotta go because I got this call or whatever. Then you're out of there, right? So you can like create a list of what things you actually want to attend and what obligations you actually need to follow through with, and other ones you need to like cut out and just be like, sorry, I can't do this. It's too much. I need some more downtime, and it's just not your vibe. And that's okay. And that's what we should all be doing, honestly, being honest with what we can actually engage in, and then being honest about what is just too much and giving those things up. My fourth and final suggestion to you on how to find something enjoyable about this season is to find an opportunity to volunteer. So if you just don't like anything about Christmas, it's just not your vibe, and you don't want to change your routine and take a break and try something new, you don't want to surround yourself with necessarily more people to positively influence you, and you don't really need to spend the time to set boundaries and limits for yourself, I would encourage you to find an opportunity to volunteer. And I'm saying if you tried all of these and they did work for you, you could still find an opportunity to volunteer, because you're giving back, you're taking the time to help someone else, which always makes you feel better about yourself. It's amazing. It's amazing how you can spend your own time helping and caring and loving for someone, yet it benefits them so much more than it does you. It's just like a 2-in-1. And I encourage you to find an opportunity. And I know that, yes, the pandemic is happening, but there are still opportunities to help. I know that my church still has so many volunteer opportunities you can still partake in. Like they have this thing that we have people sign up ahead of time and they come and they shop for presents for their kids because they can't afford them. And there's a lot of volunteers needed in that whole operation of like just greeting people, helping people shop, being hospitable, restocking toys, this, that, and the other. And I'm sure there's an opportunity somewhere in your community where you can volunteer. Maybe you can go visit people at a nursing home if you've been tested and everything is okay there, or maybe you can help with a toy drive, maybe you can help with the homeless, maybe you can still do caroling. I think people could still do caroling, like around town, like outside, or maybe you want to help like clean up trash on the side of the road because you feel like that's really hospitable. There's so many opportunities you can do, so I encourage you to seek out maybe your local city government or someone in your community that might be connected with someone else that has ideas on how you can volunteer and give back, and that will truly put you in the spirit because you're giving back, you're helping people, you're really truly being there for someone else that's not yourself, and that will warm your heart just as much as going to look at Christmas lights. I think probably more. You're doing more. So, well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, my name is Sabrina. Thank you so much for downloading, for listening, for sharing with your friends. I truly appreciate it. Like you don't even understand. I was sharing with my husband earlier today about how I just love this and how I cherish it so much and how I hope I can continue to do this for a long time and how I hope I can expand it into different kinds of things. I'm trying to figure out a way to do like little short encouragement things on YouTube. I know I had mentioned previously before putting the podcast on YouTube, and I think that I still kind of want to do that, but I don't want to do it on video because it's just not my vibe. It's just not my vibe, and I don't think it really like amplifies the episodes either, to be honest with you. So anyway, I hope that you guys, thank you again. I was just saying thank you. I appreciate you all. You're amazing. Check the description box for notes for the show, where to find me on Instagram, my email address for any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to say hey, hi, hello to me. I hope that you come back for the rest of the episodes this week in regards to mentally healthy during the holidays. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we are talking about abide by your budget. And then later in the week, we are going to be speaking about knowing your limits and setting boundaries, not isolating yourself, and acknowledging your feelings. But until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.